Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to make a video about my most used tool, my belt sander, and I'm going to talk a little bit about it. Just cleaned it a little bit so you can better see how I made it. It's almost completely self-made. The only thing I didn't make was the motor itself. It's a bought one, but it was broken a little bit and I fixed it, so the hood was pretty dented. And I fixed that with a hammer a little bit, painted it new, and here, as you can see, and here in the back, as you can see, it's broken a little bit too. One screw is broken off, and that's why I got it pretty cheap. An old company where I worked on. And here we got a Eurotherm or Eurotherm drive. And it's for changing the frequency of the current or the voltage, and normally we have 50 Hertz, and I'm gonna ride my belt sander from 5 Hertz to 25 or 28 maximum, else it will stop because over voltage. The big problem is it has a brake built in, so when the motor, when I hit the stop, it brakes immediately. And if I have enough weight here, my big wheel is out of steel and it's pretty heavy, and the power the brake needs to brake this wheel or to stop this wheel is too much, so it gets overload. But if I do more than 28 Hertz. So quick and simple. I had a round disc, as you can see, with 4 holes in here. Took this disc out of the scrap, took a metal pipe, it's 50 by 50, is it a 50 by 50? Yeah, 2 inch by 2 inch. And then here for the standing one I took a 1 inch by 2 inch by 1 inch by 2 inch pipe, drilled a hole in 16 millimeters in diameter, put a screw in 16 millimeters with a length of about 100 millimeter, I guess. No, it's a 90 millimeter screw, and a pretty simple nut welded on a handle here so I can fix the wobble. There is no wobble in the belt, in the arm of the belt sander, and the tension of the belt gets by gravity, so I don't use any levers or anything. Just put on the belt here. Oh yeah, one important thing: if you make a belt sander yourself, the pulley wheel, the starting wheel, the motor, or normally it only needs the pulling wheel to be not straight, not flat. It's slightly shaped. If you look in here, you can see what I mean. I got a little tip over, made it about 1 to 2 degrees on each side. That's enough, so the belt gets centered by the wheel by itself. It always wants to run on the thickest diameter, and it don't wants to get out. That's a pretty nice and simple way to get your belt held on, and I made this wheel myself. Put in, I think 1.5 degrees per side. That's enough. Then round out a little bit, making a nice surface. This surface gets by itself polished up with the belts running over. Looks pretty nice now. Yeah, and current comes from here. Simple plug, plugged in, and the wire runs over to here. As you can see, it's a simple switch, which 1 1 0 0. Turn it around however you want, 360 degrees, and now it starts. The fans blow pretty good, and now I have to put on local and put in the hertz like I want them. I hope you can see here now. Turn it up, and can get it started. Safety run without a belt, just to show you guys what it could do. Get up to 50 hertz. Dedust it a little bit. And as you see, my wheel pretty awesome. Now we got about 3,000 rounds per minute, 2,835 rounds per minute we should have at about 50 hertz exactly. And the motor is blowing pretty good. Stop it. Oh, and as you see, failure, overload. And the brake doesn't take it. Too much weight. So, switch it off. Pretty simple, just need to switch it off and switch it on again, and then it's pretty fine. It works again. The motor itself has a power of 2.2 kilowatts, so 2,200 watts. It is an S1 motor, so made for running through all the time. The front of the Beltsander. In the beginning I didn't have this spring here, and the rubber piece here was for holding, pretty hard with one hand, for holding the arm when it gets completely down here, holding it, stopping it. Now the spring stops it if it's compressed fully. Yeah, quite a weight of gravity. Now show you the front piece. Here I got a lever screw. If I open it up here, I can rotate both. Wheels to each other and to the surface here. Here I got a knife sharp corner for if the belt is under tension, it should get perfect. Then as you see, it's hollow ground, and it should fit perfect to the wheel to get a nice ricasso. And here it's just rounded out very slightly. The plate itself, I used a bandsaw blade, or it's spring steel tempered to 50 HRC. The screws are ground down, very flat, so it's a complete perfect surface. I just used a bar 30 by 15 millimeters here to stabilize the whole plate, and welded here a plate with two holes, long holes, and welded it on a bent sheet metal here, on a C-bent sheet metal. It's bent like a C shape. And there are plates with a thread inside. Here's some nuts, special screws to easily open and close it. That's the arm, so I can rotate the arm and get it up and down like I need to. I have different set of rollers also. Here I have another set of rollers. I'm working on them because I need to get this plate like this, and I want to get smaller rollers out of aluminum too, for smaller things. Yeah, and the main secret I'm going to show you now for centering the belts. Okay, now this here is a plate of a bit smaller than the inner diameter of the pipe. It's 40 by 15. Yep, 40 by 15. And I welded on a long handle here, or the lever, with a simple washer welded on here. And another big washer to give it a little bit more of less friction. And here I welded on a simple nut on the lever, welded to the arm. Yeah. On this block I got two nuts welded onto, drilled the hole through 12 millimeters the thickness of the screw, so they do not have much play or wiggle. And now it only can move left or right. As you can see, the plate inside of the pipe gets enough space because inside is 20 millimeters and I only got 15, so I got 2.5 left and right. And I can move left enough and right enough, about 10 degrees. As you see, it changes the angle to the plate. That's very important, and it changes the angle to the wheel. Put this screw in here and tighten it like I need it. As you see, the angle changes. And that's the main secret of the belt sander, how it works. Pretty easy and pretty simple and useful. So here I only got 3 holes drilled in, all in the same axis, in the same direction. So these wheels are absolute parallel to this rod and parallel to this hole. So these holes need to be pretty perfect. I say the more perfect, the better your belt sander runs, I found out. And this piece here is to, as I said, turn the block here, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, the spring here is to lower the tension of the belt a little bit, because tension of gravity was pretty strong and always deformed my belt a little bit. And now I get a better shape, or now I get less tension on the belts and works much better. Okay. Because if I push down on the belt, as you see, the tension got stronger on the belt itself, and that's what it pushes it out a little bit by grinding, but it's not a big problem. You will get, I got used to it pretty good. So that's my belt sander. Now I'm gonna show you how it runs with the belt, to show you the screw again, how it works like. And as you see, the belt centers itself pretty good to what we need, to the flat here. It's very accurate, more than enough. And I don't understand the belt sanders which don't have a plate like this. I think you need this plate because it's very, very good to grind knife. You need it to grind a knife, get a perfect grind. Or if you only make hollow grounds, you need a big wheel. Yeah, but I don't like hollow grounds, so just let's go local, set it up to full speed. Let's say 25. I always use 25 as full speed. It's pretty nice, and you will see the brake working. I'll show you. Works pretty nice. 21, and it almost stops under a second. That's pretty nice. And one good thing about this belt sander, if you lift up the arm, the power of the belt is gone. You know what I mean? The power, it has almost no power. I will show you. Just running through the steel wheel. It has so much weight, it runs a pretty long time. And as you see, this the mass of this piece. I can turn it out here a little bit, which I should do maybe. Yeah, pretty massive piece. But the brake takes it pretty good. At 25 hertz, as I said. And normally I run the belt sander for wood. I run it at about 14 hertz. Slow speed, that to not risk burning the wood. Take a sharp new belt. You should not burn the wood, but if it runs too fast, it could heat up a little bit, and the oil of the wood gets stuck into the belt and closes up the spaces where the shavings need to go, fly away, and then you get burned the wood pretty fast, because if you only slit over the pieces inside, and it gets pretty hot and burn black stains which you don't want. Oh yeah, another thing I made when I was sick of always hanging down the arm like this, because it's pretty much it hangs out very wide, a far distance out, and always run into it, as you may see, and it needs a lot of space, which is not very good in my small shop. So I decided to make a special piece here, and you see it's just a spring steel with a bolt rounded out so it springs in by itself pretty good, and a hook form here to hold it in place when it's in. Just put 2 screws here to give it the spring and bend it out a little bit so I have a better lever here to fit in with my finger. And hope you can see it. Yep. And it holds up pretty good into the hook. You can see, don't get it out this way. You need to lift it a little bit and bring it out by itself. And I think that's pretty nice invention I made, if you want to call it invention. Yeah, I like it. It's pretty useful, so it needs a lot less space in my shop like this, and I don't run into it. If I run into it, then with the head right here. So that's pretty nasty, but okay, better than the other way. And normally it doesn't stand out, doesn't stick out that far, so it's pretty nice this way. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh yeah, how I made this piece, I just had the same disc as at the bottom. As you see, the holes in here are already in 4 pieces here downside, and then I get a sheet metal, 3mm steel sheet metal, bend it around about the shape of the circle and welded it onto. Welded it pretty good, because in my company I was there, I had pretty nice welding machines, so all the welds on this are very nice welds, hold up pretty good. And this welds, all these pieces here, I put in a triangle to stabilize it so it gets more stability. Stability is very important on your belt sander, so use thick enough material. These sheet metals are 5mm or 4mm, I guess, 4 millimeters and 3mm, and this has also 3mm thickness, wall thickness. This pipe has about 5mm of wall thickness, and the plates, as I said, 4mm, and I've put in here some 10mm screws so the motor holds up very well. Yeah, I tightened them with the right tension, with the right torque they need, so they hold up very well as needed. The wheel itself I pressed onto the bolt of the motor with a plastic piece in between, a very hard plastic piece in between, and a disc to stop the whole thing. And it turns extremely nice. If you make a pressure fit, slight pressure fit for about 1/100 of a millimeter or 200 of a millimeter pressure, then it fits perfectly and it turns extremely nice. So the only thing not rotating perfect is the disc here, but that's not a problem at all. Yeah, I use ball bearings with a cage, closed up, dust proof, and made for high speed turning and made for high amounts of pressure. These ones already start to get a little bit, very tiny little bit of wiggle. Sometimes I need to oil them or else they're gonna make whee. That's maybe because the balls are already a little bit ground down or pushed down, as you hear. It's not the best anymore. So sooner or later I need to change them, but it's not a big deal. They held up for about 6 or 7 years now, so I'm very proud to pick up the right ones. They were pretty expensive, I guess $5 to $8 a piece, but it's absolutely worth it. You better pay more for the bearings because they hold up very long time, and you don't want to change them because it's a lot of work. Yeah, and unnecessary work is not very good. So if you want to build your own one, it's not a problem for me if you make it the same as I did. If you make it another way, it's your thing, how you need it. I made it exactly how I need it, and I like it very much. I hope you like my video. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos like this, and thanks for watching.